Yo, we is back with another YouTube video. Can I get a bow? Now in today's video, I kind of want to talk about some job experience that I had. Now, to be honest, I'm only gonna be focusing on one job, and it was actually my last job. And where I worked at was actually a place called Sprint. Now, if you don't know what Sprint is, it's a huge wireless company. It's all I can really say about the company. They just sell phones and sell service, and they just happen to merge with T-Mobile. But we're not here to talk about Sprint. Actually, we are here to talk about Sprint, but we're here to talk about how terrible it was working at Sprint. Now, I feel like I should start off with how I got the job, and this should have been the first red flag that I should have picked up, but my dumbass just didn't pick it up. But found the job on Craigslist. Now, my future self would tell my past self, don't look for a job on Craigslist, and that should have been a huge red flag for me. But I was desperate for a job. I needed money. I needed to, fund my housing, all that good stuff. But yeah, I found the job at Sprint. I forgot what the ad said, but it sounded like I could make some decent money if I was actually good at the job. So I was like, you know what? I might as well, apply for it. And as soon as I applied for it, they called me back immediately. And literally the next day I went in for an interview. Now the interview was pretty chill, pretty calm. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary. But I just remember during the whole entire interview, they really expressed how heavy they are with sales. Like making sales was such a big thing for them, that making new lines is very important. Selling tablets, selling watches, all this nonsense that people just don't care for. But yeah, making sales was like the hugest thing I took away from the interview. And honestly, I thought that would be pretty easy for me, just because I'm a very talkative person. Actually, I'm not that much of a talkative person, but people like to talk to me. I like to talk to people. I like to I feel like I'm a good conversator, especially when I meet someone new. I can always talk about literally anything. But yeah, I thought as long as I can hold conversations and people they'll like my personality, that I'll do pretty well with this job. And another thing they try to express a lot to me is that I could make a lot of money working here if I make a lot of sales and close a lot of sales and do all this and that. But as time progressed, I kind of realized everything that they was telling me was just a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Don't get me wrong, I had a few weeks or a few months that I made decent money, over minimum wage. But for the most part, it's kind of hard to make a lot of money working that type of job if you're not in the right location. And that's what I started to realize. Location was key when it comes to a job like that. Where I was working at was like a little strip mall. It wasn't really a mall at all. It was just like a little strip store where it was right next to a Five Guys. It wasn't in a very highly populated area. And most of the people that came into the store was either A, complaining about how Sprint service sucks, B, they trying to get their bill lowered down, or C, they just trying to upgrade their phone. Now, you would think that when you're selling these iPhones, iPads, that you'll make a lot of money from just selling those things, but that is far from the truth. Now, how the commission structure worked, it was basically they take the gross profit from everything that you sold and also the amount of hours you worked for that month, and they give you a percentage based off the hours you worked, and they give you a percentage of all the gross profit you made. So you can make $10,000 in gross profit, and then if you work a certain amount of hours, they'll put you at a tier that you only get 9% of that 10,000. So you just add that commission to your check for that month, and that's how much money you're making on top of your base salary. When I was working at the time, I was only getting $11 an hour, and with the commission and stuff, I was getting paid every 2 weeks, but I only get that commission check once a month. So in total, on average, every other week, I'll have a paycheck for $1,100 or $1,200 just off for a week. And another thing that bugged me about working there too is they put such a heavy emphasis on selling tablets and Apple Watches. And thing is those things jack up your bill so much, but quote unquote they're free, but they're not really free. they're just paying for the service on them, and then like your bill goes up like $50 and all that stuff. But yeah, most people just, you know, didn't really want to get tablets and all that stuff because they just knew that it wasn't free, or like whatever I'm saying just isn't what it was. And like I could tell, and honestly, when I was working there, I'll just keep it a buck with like most of the customers. Like I'll just tell you what it is, and they respected me for that. That's why I managed to do pretty well at that location, because people saw me as like an honest and true person and not like some scumbag that's just trying to rip them off. For this one time, like our store wasn't selling like that many tablets, and I remember like the district manager like threatened to fire everyone in the store because they weren't selling enough tablets. I'm like, yo, you can't just force sell something that no one wants to buy. And I remember there was this one lady I used to work with. She always used to like try to like really sell these tablets and literally like force it on any customer that walked through the door. And like sometimes she'll sell them, but like most of the time, I would say like 80 to 90% of the time, that person would come in the next day or a week later and literally return the iPad. And like the whole entire time I was working there, it was just very depressing. Like I would say 70% of the work time that I was spent there, it was very dead. Like nothing was going on. No one was walking to the store. I was just on my phone like most of the time, watching like YouTube, Twitch, whatever. But like it was just ass. Like it was just terrible. Like very depressing. Money wasn't too crazy, and the hours were just like so long. I worked from like 10 to 8 all the time. Like no one wants to work from 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and like most of the time you're just not doing anything at all. So yeah, that's why if you ever think about applying to Sprint, I mean, it's cool. Working at cellular places, it's not that bad of a job. It just really comes down to where you're at and how you sell, to be honest. If you're a good talker and you're a good salesman and you're good, you know, location, you're gonna make a lot of money, and that's what it's all about. But if you're in one of those locations where there's not too much foot traffic, it's gonna suck, to be honest. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end this video right here. Almost at 8 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna try to make these videos every single day. Try to be consistent, you know, and like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.